to give a very special shout out to a couple fans of mine who have been very loyal throughout the years. Benjamin Calvert, his birthday is coming up on February 23rd. So I wanted to give him a shout out, and also Jason Atkinson, some of their friends Jamie, Mike, Justin, and Sandra. Guys, thank you so much for being so supportive to me. And so I thought I would jump in there and Benjamin tell you a very early happy birthday for your birthday on February 23rd. As you guys know, I'm best known for You're Next and VHS 2. But this week, hey Brandon, how you doing, buddy? This week, an announcement was made about a new film I'm going to be appearing in called On Location with my good friend Damien Maffei. I think you guys are going to really enjoy the movie, and if you have any questions, since this is relatively recent news for me, go ahead and ask. Also, Butcher's Bluff is still on the horizon. Butcher's Bluff is heading your way pretty soon after a very successful Indiegogo campaign. Billy Instone's film, which I've been attached to for quite some time, and if you have any questions about that, throw it my way as well. So a lot of interesting stuff on the horizon. Jason, I see you're joining me. Good to see you, buddy. So I wanted to talk for a few minutes about some things that came out this week in just pop culture news. Number one, so it looks like Sam Raimi is going to be directing the next Doctor Strange movie. What do you guys think about that? I actually got rather excited when I heard this news, considering that Sam Raimi, hasn't been directing too many things lately since, I remember the last thing it was the Oz thing, and I'm sure he's done stuff since then. But anytime you hear Sam Raimi attached to anything that's going to be horror related, and I think Marvel has come out and said that this is sort of going to be a horror version of Doctor Strange. That seems kind of interesting to me. Also, you got the Spiral trailer that came out. Spiral being from the book of Saw, the Chris Rock Saw movie. First trailer hit. Very interested to know you guys' opinion on that. My personal thing is, listen, I love to see anytime people try to reach outside of their comfort zone. Chris Rock is going to do a horror movie. I would rather it maybe have been an original horror movie, but hey, Chris Rock is doing a Saw, and there's a trailer out now to prove it. Sam Jackson's in it as well, so that's interesting. And like I say, I would love to know what you guys think about Spiral. I think it's kind of an odd title, to be honest with you. I don't know why I didn't just call it Saw number 15 or whatever, but or Chris Rock's Saw. Chris Rock apostrophe S. Possessive, like John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars. Though let's hope this movie is much better than Ghosts of Mars. No offense to any of you Ghosts of Mars fans out there. But yeah, so On Location, I think it's going to be a very fun adventure of a movie. It's a horror film. I'm sure you've seen the poster that came up on Bloody Disgusting with the announcement, which is a beautiful kind of retro poster done by a very talented artist. And so, yeah, I'm very excited about working on the film. We start shooting in March, and I believe I'm going to be shooting Butcher's Bluff shortly thereafter. So some very exciting stuff. And for those of you who haven't already, this is not a new development. Most of you who have seen anything that I had anything to do with in the last, since October, have heard about my book Grim Grimoire, which is a collection of horror short stories available in ebook and paperback form on Amazon. Check that out. So, if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and throw them out there. Jason says that Sam Raimi did a good job with the old Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Hey, and I think he might be, now he's moving into another Marvel property. But only this time, unlike the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, which were their own thing, this is Sam Raimi doing a film within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I think will be kind of interesting, because all of those films, as you undoubtedly know, are connected. So he's kind of playing in that sandbox. That'll be very... But the thing that excites me most about it is, we had Drag Me to Hell, which was the Sam Raimi horror film that he did not too long ago, which was definitely a horror film and very exciting for fans of old school Sam Raimi, like myself. It was very much a Sam Raimi horror fest, a kind of a tip of the hat to his old fans, who up until that time had really only seen one semi-horror adjacent scene in the second Spider-Man. You know, the surgery scene where Doc Ock's arms, and for a second the movie turns into pure Army of Darkness with the saw and everything. You know, Crash zooms in. And for me, it was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Sam Raimi is doing like Army of Darkness again. But it was just for that one scene, and then Spider-Man resumed. I assume that with Doctor Strange Part 2, which I believe is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is a mouthful, I think hopefully he'll be able to branch out and do more horror-esque things. Obviously, it's a Marvel movie. Marvel movies up until now have never gone past the PG-13 barrier. But you could still do, I mean, think about the ratings when I was a kid, or a teenager even, to what they are now. You can do a lot more in PG-13 than you could ever do, you know, in like an R-rated movie back when I was a kid. You couldn't do, you know. I remember that you couldn't show like an extended gout of blood back in the 80s. They would just slash everything out of, pun intended, out of slasher movies. To avoid any sort of conflict with the ratings board. So I think maybe he could do something really interesting, Sam Raimi, with that Doctor Strange. And we'll have to see about the Chris Rock Saw movie. Other people have branched from comedy into horror successfully. I think of Jordan Peele, who I'm a big fan of, you know, especially Us, which I thought was great, and Get Out as well. But I really loved Us. I think and then, you know, he's doing Candyman, which again, kind of wish it wasn't a remake of something. I think he's on a good path there with his original horror, but, you know, to each their own. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys a few minutes about things that have happened this week. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to be talking about, and that's my usual weekly show on YouTube, we're going to be talking about The Godfather. A movie I've done tomorrow will be the 83rd episode. I can't believe in 83 episodes of that show I've never talked about The Godfather. So we're definitely going to be talking about that tomorrow. So join us tomorrow probably around 2 p.m. in the afternoon Central Time. You know, adjust accordingly to wherever you live. But again, I want to give a very special shout out to Jason Atkinson and to Benjamin Calvert, whose birthday is coming up on February 23rd. You guys have been great, you've been loyal, and I always appreciate loyalty. That kind of goes into the Godfather thing as well, you know. So anyway, and all of your friends, Jamie, Mike, Justin, Sandra, you guys, you're all the best. And I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and I will keep you updated with even more stuff about On Location, Butcher's Bluff, and the other films and books I'm going to be coming out with this coming year. It's going to be very exciting. So until then, take care of yourselves, and Benjamin, happy early birthday, buddy.